There's currently a multi-trillion-dollar race underway to create the most powerful AI possible in the shortest amount of time, and in this video we're going to take a look at the cost and scale of every major AI supercomputer creating these frontier models to understand where each major AI company is positioned in the race. AI models have consistently improved in performance over the past several years, and after the release of ChatGPT in 2022, there was an explosion of investment into AI. This investment has enabled companies to aggressively pursue the ultimate goal of creating an advanced form of artificial general intelligence, an AGI that could generate solutions to some of the world's greatest problems, something that we've already begun to see glimpses of at a small scale. Whether or not AGI is even possible with current methods is a subject of massive debate, but the AI companies aren't waiting around for a consensus. They're pushing forward at full speed with the hopes to become the first company to achieve AGI. Starting with Microsoft and OpenAI, these two companies have partnered to develop the current line of GPT AI models in an agreement where Microsoft builds the data centers that OpenAI can then use to train and run its AI models. There are two main types of AI data centers designed for inference and data centers designed for model training. The vast majority of new data centers being built are designed for inference, which is the computing power used to process the output from an AI model, such as when you type in a question to ChatGPT. These inference data centers come in all shapes and sizes, but are more geographically dispersed and don't require the latest cutting-edge hardware since they're mostly dedicated to processing the everyday usage of AI models. But in order to create these AI models in the first place, an immense amount of local computing power is needed for a process known as model training. This model training process is complex with multiple stages, but generally the more computing power used to train a model, the more capable the model is able to be, and is what has led to unprecedented clusters of computing power to be built in one place, known as AI supercomputers. These AI supercomputers can look nearly identical to inference data centers and can even serve as inference data centers if needed. But the main difference is that in AI supercomputers, the racks inside of the data center are all interconnected with each other and work in sync to slowly train new AI models over the course of months. A slow and delicate process requiring the latest and most powerful top-of-the-line GPUs in order to ensure maximum output. The computing power of these AI supercomputers will be the biggest factor in determining the winners of the AI race, and as a result are being built at gargantuan scales with tremendous urgency. The OpenAI Microsoft partnership currently has one major publicly announced AI supercomputer under construction known as the Microsoft Fairwater data center, located in the city of Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin. This supercomputer will cost a total of $17.7 billion for roughly 550 megawatts of power capacity and is expected to be completed in early 2026. This data center will house 200,000 to 300,000 of the latest GPUs, later doubling in size by the end of 2027. To put that into perspective, GPT-4, a very capable OpenAI model released in 2023, was trained with a cluster of only 25,000 older generation GPUs, and GPT-5, OpenAI's latest and most capable model released in August 2025, was trained on a cluster of about 100,000 GPUs. In addition to the partnership with Microsoft, OpenAI has also partnered with Oracle and Softbank for a $500 billion investment into AI projects and infrastructure over the next several years, all under an overarching project known as Stargate. The Stargate project includes at least 6 large data centers that will be built within 4 years in the US, with a total power capacity of 10 gigawatts across all of the sites upon completion. The largest site will be located near Abilene, Texas, and is the flagship AI supercomputer being built under Stargate. This Abilene site is already partially operational with 200,000 GPUs and is expected to reach a power capacity of 1.2 gigawatts with nearly 500,000 GPUs by the end of 2026, and later scaling to 2.2 gigawatts with close to 1 million GPUs. Each of these GPUs can cost around $30,000 to $40,000 each for the latest versions, and can easily make up 70% to 80% of the total cost of new AI supercomputers currently being built, which means that the cost of GPUs in a new training data center can be well into the billions of dollars, and is the main reason why Nvidia, the manufacturer of these GPUs, is currently the most valuable company in the world. For reference, GPT-5, the latest OpenAI model, was trained in a data center campus with a total power capacity of about 150 megawatts, and means that this new data center will have roughly 7 times more power than what was used for the GPT-5 model, in addition to even more efficient hardware. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. These companies are working hard to connect multiple data center campuses together across small regions to create even larger multi-gigawatt training runs in the coming years, potentially allowing for upwards of 5 gigawatts of power for a single AI model within a few years. This is the reason why many of the AI supercomputers being built today are being strategically located in the same geographic region to one day be connected as one mega training cluster. Despite OpenAI's aggressive timelines, xAI was the first company to reach 100,000 operational GPUs with its Colossus 1 supercomputer that was completed in 2024. xAI took just 4 months to go from planning to fully operational, a process that would normally require multiple years. Since then, the Colossus 1 cluster has expanded to roughly 230,000 GPUs for a grand total of roughly $10 billion for the Colossus 1 supercomputer alone, which is entirely dedicated to training its frontier model known as Grok. Grok 4 was released in July of 2025 and was briefly the most powerful AI model in the world, before being surpassed by OpenAI's GPT-5 model in August. Now xAI is working at warp speed to build out its next supercomputer, known as Colossus 2, located just down the street from Colossus 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. This new supercomputer is expected to be complete in early 2026 with 550,000 of the latest Nvidia GPUs at an estimated total cost of $44 billion and over 1.3 gigawatts of power capacity, which is enough to power every single household in the city of San Francisco. All of this going into one supercomputer. Notably, the founder and CEO of xAI, Elon Musk, was also a co-founder of OpenAI when it was launched in 2015. Elon worked alongside many of the top people at OpenAI, including Sam Altman, until 2018, when Elon resigned his position due to disagreements over the direction of the company. This led him to create xAI in 2023, and now directly competes against OpenAI. So it's easy to see how a deep rivalry runs between both companies, adding even more competitive fuel to the AI race. Meta has also thrown its hat in the ring, with $72 billion spent on AI infrastructure in 2025, and recently announced the details of 2 major AI projects, which include Hyperion, currently being built in Richland Parish, Louisiana, and Prometheus, which is located in New Albany, Ohio. The Hyperion campus, located in Louisiana, will be a data center dedicated to inference, with 2 gigawatts of capacity by 2030 and up to 5 gigawatts beyond that if needed. This image, posted by CEO Mark Zuckerberg, demonstrates the size of the future Hyperion campus relative to the island of Manhattan, which was extruded upwards for a better visual, but in reality will just be a flat campus. The Prometheus project, on the other hand, will house the AI supercomputer to train Meta's Llama AI models, and has a much tighter timeline for construction in order to compete with all of the other supercomputers, even going as far as using massive tents instead of buildings to speed up the timeline. Prometheus is expected to cost a total of $34 billion for over 1 gigawatt of capacity and an estimated 500,000 of the latest Nvidia GPUs. Prometheus is expected to be completed in 2026 and will likely come online through multiple phases. Notably, the CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, has also had a bit of a rivalry with Sam Altman, due to his aggressive poaching tactics, which included several multi-$100 million offers to top employees at OpenAI to work for Meta instead. Google has been a relatively quiet player in the race, but is arguably the most well-positioned out of all the frontier AI companies due to its ecosystem and custom hardware. In 2025, Google invested $85 billion into AI infrastructure and has one of the most popular AI models used by consumers, known as Gemini, with an estimated 450 million active monthly users. To train its Gemini models, Google has focused on a unique network. Instead of using one mega training data center like xAI or Meta, they're building and expanding multiple data centers within a specific region, typically located within 30 to 50 miles of each other, and connecting them with extremely high bandwidth fiber optic cables. This allows them to get a similar level of computing power as their competitors, but is a very complex and risky method that only Google has implemented so far, and has yet to be tested at extremely large scales. Google is building out 2 of these major AI cluster regions to train its models. The first, located near the Iowa-Nebraska border, and consists of 4 connected training data center campuses in the towns of Council Bluffs, Lincoln, Papillion, and Omaha. These 4 data centers will have a combined capacity of over 1 gigawatt by 2026. The other significant Google cluster region is located in central Ohio, with individual campuses located in New Albany, Lancaster, and Columbus. This Ohio cluster region is expected to be complete and operational by the end of 2025, also over 1 gigawatt in capacity. However, an important note is that it remains unclear how much efficiency is lost due to this cluster region approach. Anthropic is another frontier AI company that has exploded in growth over the past few years with a model known as Claude, and currently holds most of the market share for business customers, ahead of both OpenAI and Google. Anthropic has partnered with Amazon to build out a network of AI infrastructure known as Project Rainier for both inference and training, with a notable $34.8 billion project for an AI supercomputer located in St. Joseph County, Indiana, expected to be operational with about 1.1 gigawatts of power in January 2026. In China, there are two frontier models that have managed to keep up with the capabilities of the American models at a substantially lower cost, known as the Qwen model from Alibaba and the DeepSeek model from DeepSeek AI. DeepSeek AI is a Chinese startup company that made major headlines early in 2025 for creating the DeepSeek R1 model that was similar in capability to OpenAI's frontier model at the time, but was created with substantially less computing power, cost, and was partially open source, which undercut OpenAI's existing proprietary model at the time. This brought to light the efficiency gains that were possible through clever software design, which DeepSeek was forced to come up with due to export controls on the latest GPU hardware from the US to China. Alibaba has had to abide by the same export controls and hasn't released the specific details regarding the hardware used to train its Qwen AI model. The export controls on hardware are designed to limit the computing power of Chinese companies' AI models and give the US companies an early advantage when it comes to training and deploying frontier models. However, this approach also forces Chinese companies to invest and build their own AI hardware alternatives, so the export controls will only work until China's AI hardware industry grows enough to achieve self-reliance, rendering the export controls irrelevant. This is expected to occur gradually between 2027 to 2035. By then, China will be on a level playing field with the US and could spark an AI arms race, unlike anything we've seen so far. It will be interesting to see how the AI race develops as we head into the uncharted territory of gigawatt-scale advanced artificial intelligence. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Till next time.